Well, Tennessee sucks. That's no surprise. You know what is a surprise? Miami and Florida State tied at 10 apiece. Where's all the Florida State fans that talked about, oh, well, we had 19 wide receivers out when we struggled against Pitt. They're all back now. Yeah, they're all back, and you're tied with one of the worst Miami teams in a while, and they should be beating you. In fact, in my mind, Miami is beating you. These referees are at it again. I'm going to reiterate for the 100th time in a row. I do not think the referees are bought and paid for. I do not think the referees root or cheer for one team or the other. I don't think referees set teams up or anything like that. I just think the referees are garbage. I think they're terrible at their job. And they proved it yet again in this Miami-Florida State game. I don't care if I live to be 1,100 years old. That was a safety in that game. Jordan Travis got tackled in the end zone. It wasn't even particularly close. And what made this so bad, not only did they blow the call on the field, the replay officials couldn't even get it right. That was a safety 100 times out of 100. So they robbed Miami of 2 points right there. But it didn't matter. Miami forced the punt then from the 1 yard line, goes down, kicks a field goal as time expires at the end of the half. Florida State 10, Miami 10 is your halftime score. Where did Utah find this offense at? Oh, yeah, they're playing Washington. Man, you know what? You want to know what would be a great game? Washington versus Florida State. These might be two of the worst undefeated teams this late in the season that we've had in a long time. You're talking about Florida State at, 9-0? Washington at 9-0? And neither one of them are anywhere close to the level of a legitimate playoff team. They're not. Now, both of them may end up making the playoffs. I don't know. Florida State's got to get by Miami today. Then they got Florida in a couple of weeks. Just a horrific team. And then what? Louisville in the ACC championship game? The list of... Look, everybody's going to want to play Florida State in the playoffs if they get there. Florida State will not win a playoff game. Neither will Washington unless they somehow play each other. That's it. In which case, one of them's got to win. If they end up playing each other in the playoffs, then whoever wins the other playoff game is your national champion. Because no other team that is even close to being playoff eligible would lose to either one of those two teams right now. I'm not putting them down and saying that Florida State and Washington are terrible teams. You don't get to be 9-0 if you're a terrible team. But when it comes to the undefeated teams, which is Ohio State, Georgia, Florida State, Washington, and Michigan, they're the bottom of the barrel. They're the bottom of that particular barrel. And even the one-loss 6 through 10 teams would beat them. Oregon right now would beat either one of those teams. Texas would beat either one of them. Bama would, well, maybe Bama, maybe not. Maybe not Penn State either. Well, okay, maybe not Ole Miss either. But I'm just saying, to be 9-0, these two teams don't scare anybody. Any team that's headed to the playoffs, I guarantee you they want to play Washington or Florida State. I don't get it. I don't understand. Utah doesn't have an offense all year. This game's in Washington. 28-24, and it's not even halftime. Utah scored 6 games worth of points for them in one half against Washington. Tennessee doing disaster. I'm not surprised they can't throw the ball. They haven't been able to throw the ball all year. They can't run the ball on Mizzou. They can't pass the ball on Mizzou. Mizzou's going up and down the field on them. It's just, I don't know. Oh, you want to know what else is embarrassing? Oklahoma State. I fell for this. I fell for it. There was too many people that were talking about Oklahoma State better be on upset watch. It felt like the kind of thing where too many people were talking about it, so it probably wasn't going to happen. Oh, it's happening. Oklahoma State is losing 24-0 to Central Florida at halftime. Just unreal. Colorado and Arizona are tied at 31. So it looks like Colorado's setting themselves up for another heartbreaking last-minute loss today, which doesn't hurt anyone's feelings at all. Other than watching your own team win, watching Colorado lose is pretty much the highlight of everybody's college football Saturday at this point, is what it is. Anyway, great games. Great games. Going to be some good second halves, too. All 3 of the games we're really watching. Utah, Washington, 1-score game. Miami, Florida State, all tied up. Tennessee, Mizzou, 1-score game. It's Missouri 13, Tennessee 7. Missouri's got 3 scoring drives. Tennessee has 1. Tennessee had another good drive going late in the second quarter. a turnover, a fumble, gave Missouri the ball back. They go down, kick a field goal at the end of the half. Missouri 13, Tennessee 7. So we got great games going on here at 3:30. So if you're watching these games, come hang out with us. And I'm live streaming on the channel right now for these 3:30 games. I'll be ending the stream at 7 o'clock. The Patreon stream tonight is prime time. So the Patreon stream tonight starts at 7. We got Georgia and Missouri, of course, coming up at 7 o'clock. So that's when the Patreon stream will start. What else do we have? West Virginia and Oklahoma, Michigan State, Ohio State, Texas, TCU, Florida, LSU, Duke, North Carolina, Southern Cal, Oregon. all those games coming up in prime time. So streaming right now on YouTube for the 3:30 games. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a good time in the second half of these things. Look at this. I don't feel. Michigan they're cheaters. They got caught cheating red-handed. I'm not here crying, man. Yeah, they played a great game. You cheated to get there. Anyway, come hang out. Watch the second half of the 3:30 games with us on the channel. I'm live over there right now. And tonight, Patreon, 7 o'clock. Link in the description of the video to the Patreon page. Patreon stream tonight for all the primetime games. Some of these top 10 teams are losing.